Blessed Sabbath. Not on. Turn the mic on, Jay. Sorry. Blessed Sabbath. Blessed Sabbath, everybody. Blessed Sabbath, those watching online. Welcome to our youth class. Brothers, uncover your heads. Sisters, cover your heads as we face Jerusalem in prayer.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy will be done in earth.
thy will be done in earth,
As it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread,
And forgive us our debts.
and forgive us our debts,
As we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation,
But deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom,
And the power.
and the power,
And the glory.
and the glory,
Forever.
forever.
In Jesus' mighty name.
In Jesus' mighty name,
Amen.
amen. The Sabbath again once more. You guys had a wonderful week. And today the title of our lesson is The Ancient Paths. Is that me?
No.
Oh. The ancient paths, right? Because for some reason we think the ancient paths are not the way we're supposed to be walking. They tell you Jesus came, fulfill it all, so we don't have to walk in these ancient paths. You know? Now we could just do whatever law we feel is good, right? We could establish whatever we want, we could do whatever we want, just put Jesus' name on it and we should be fine. Right? But we're going to see what God has to say about the ancient paths, the old paths, right? And whether or not it was actually a good way to walk it. You know? So we're going to start off in Jeremiah chapter 6, right? And of course, I hope you guys have your scripts for me ready today. Right? I gave you some time. Right? But I'm going to give you 2 scripts and then you take it from there. Right? Jeremiah 6, and let's see where we're going to pick it up. Jeremiah chapter 6, and we're going to pick it up at verse 16.
Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths.
And a lot of people don't do that, right? But here God is telling Jeremiah to stand in the way and see, and ask about the old paths, right? The ancient paths, the paths that everybody seems to have forsaken, right? Ask about the old paths where what?
Where is the good way, and walk therein.
Oh, so that was the good way to walk. And he's saying that was the good way, so now you know that's the good way, walk in it. Right? For what?
And ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein.
And that's the same thing they say to this day. Right? You tell somebody, hey, you know, you're supposed to be keeping the Sabbath if you a Christian, a follower of Christ. They'll tell you, no, Jesus fulfilled the Sabbath. Jesus is my rest, right? That's what they'll tell us. Not realizing they are erring, right? They're not walking in that straight and narrow path anymore. They have now gone off the path, right? Because we read, it says, thus saith the Lord. The Lord is speaking, right, to Jeremiah. Stand ye in the way and see and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk there in it, right? And he shall find what for your souls? Rest. You should find rest, right? Like today, we're finding what? Rest for our souls. We're practicing coming into that millennium rest, right? That 1,000-year rest. We do it every weekend, right? Because it points to something, right? It says, and walk therein it, and he shall find rest for your souls. But what they said? They said, we will not walk in it. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not keeping no commandments anymore. That was bondage, right? But what? Go ahead, 17.
Also, I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken.
Yeah, and you have a lot of people are waking up right now, right? Trying to bring the church back to remembrance of God's commandments. Tell them, hey, nah, you know we're not keeping the commandments, right? but they're not hearkening, right? But they said we will not hearken, right? Because there's watchmen. You go on YouTube, you see watchmen all over the place. Not saying every watchman that's there is teaching the truth, right? But some of them God is using. Hey, reminding people, showing people, opening their eyes to these folly days that we're in right now. Showing that these things are actually worship of Satan, right? Christmas, Easter, that's the worship of Satan, right? But they don't want to go back to the old past, right? Give me 18.
Therefore hear, ye nations, and know, O congregation.
He's speaking to the nation and the congregation, right? And the congregation was a mixed multitude. It had different people in the congregation, right? That's why he spoke to the nation and he spoke to the congregation. Go ahead.
What is among them? Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it.
Oh, you see what they have done? You see what they have done? They have rejected God's words and his laws. They have rejected that, right? So let's go to Isaiah 58, and let's look at one of the old paths, right? The old paths that they have forsaken. Isaiah chapter 58, and then you guys are going to pick it up from there. Isaiah chapter 58, and pick it up at verse 13.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord.
Yeah, so if we keep this Sabbath, right? He's saying if you keep in the Sabbath, then you're going to be able to delight yourself in the Lord, right? If you're not doing your pleasure on that day, if you're not finding, speaking your own words, right? Doing whatever you feel is satisfying to you on that day. Because that day is supposed to be dedicated to who?
The Lord.
The Lord, right? It says it's the Lord's Sabbath, right? And if we're sons of God, you're supposed to do what your father did, which is to what? Rest on the seventh day, right? Then what?
And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it.
And we know whatever comes out of the mouth of the Lord is truth, right? And we know the Lord is not going to forsake you, right? Because he said, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. You could bank on that, right? You could cash that check, because the Lord said, I said it, so you know it's going to happen, right? It's not going to bounce, right? So what you guys have for me today, brothers and sisters? What you got, Sister Abby?
Revelation 22, 10 through 14.
Revelation 22, 10 through 14. Let's see what the old paths say, right? Revelations 22, verse 10.
Yes. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still.
Yeah, and that's going to happen, right? So those that are unjust, they want to continue not walking in the old paths. Let them do that, right? What else he says?
And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
And we know how we could be righteous and holy, right? How could we do that? How could you be a righteous person and holy? By doing what? By keeping the law, following the commandments, right? Very simple. A child can understand this, right? Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be.
Every man is going to get according to his work shall be. You're going to get according to what path you walked in. Whether or not you walked in that good path, that old ancient path, or you went off that road. Because what does he tell us? He tells us straight, right? The road is straight and narrow. And how broad is that way that leads to destruction? Very broad. Very wide. There's many paths that leads to destruction. I heard somebody say that there was many paths that could lead to God. No, there's many paths that lead to destruction, not to God. There's only one path that leads to God. It's only one way. Right? Go ahead, my brother. Give me 13. You set up to what, sis? 14, go ahead.
I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end,
Mhm.
the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter through the gates into the city.
Right, and you notice how she ended it here for us? Blessed are they that do what?
Keep his commandments.
That keep the old past, the ancient past, right? So how would you like to explain that to us, Sister Abby? That verse, that chapter and verse you gave us today. How would you explain that to somebody? You don't know?
I mean,
You chose a good verse, you know?
But what do you mean? It says what it says. I think
It says what it says. Hey, I could go with that. It says what it says. You don't have nothing to add or take away from it, right? It says what it says.
Just pure, holy, and good.
Just pure, holy, and good. I like that. I like that. All right. So who else has it? What you got, Brother Devon?
I got two places. The first one is Deuteronomy 28,
Deuteronomy 28.
verses 1 through 14.
So you're giving us the blessings
Yeah.
for doing the old past.
Yeah.
Ah,
And then,
see?
and then,
Nice.
And then we're going to go somewhere in the New Testament.
All right, cool. Deuteronomy 28, verses 1 through 14. So let's look at the blessings that Israel would have got, right? For doing the old paths, right? Go ahead, my brother.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments,
All his commandments, right? All of them, right? Go ahead.
which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
But he keeps putting that big word "if" in between there. If, right? If you hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, right? If you keep these commandments, then I will bless you and give you all these things. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 3, Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
So everything you touch, everything you put your hands to the tribe, God said, I'm going to bless that. You want to start a business? Yeah, I'm going to bless that. Because you've been keeping my commandments. You want to start, you know what I'm saying, pursuing certain things? I'm going to bless you in that. Right? He says blessed is going to be your basket, your children, your fruit of your womb, all that things, right? Go ahead.
Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Mhm.
Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
He said you're going to be blessed just going out, in and out. Because you don't know if you're going to be blessed going in and out. I could step out right now and somebody shoots me. Straight bullet. I could be sitting in my house. I've heard of stories, people sitting in their house and bullets coming through windows. Right? Coming through walls, hitting them. Person was just minding their business, right? But God is saying here, you could be blessed, right? Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest out. Blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out, right? What else?
Verse 7, The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face.
Mm-hmm.
They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways.
Yeah, even your enemies is going to flee from you, right? Like Moses used to say every morning, rise up, God, and let our enemies be scattered. Let them run. Every morning Moses would wake up and repeat that, right? Go ahead.
The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses,
Mhm.
and in all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Mhm.
The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, and walk in his ways.
And he keep putting that if in there, right? If you keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, then I could bless you and give you all these things, right? Because you're walking in the ancient paths. You're walking in the paths that I prepared all the way back in before the beginning, right? Because when was the commandment settled? It was settled in heaven before the earth, right? So if you're walking in the ancient paths that they did in heaven, you're definitely going to be good. Go ahead.
And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall be afraid of thee.
Mhm.
and the Lord shall make thee plenteous
They're
in
gonna be
goods.
afraid of you, man. It's like you remember Samuel, when Samuel, an old man, old prophet, was just walking, coming through town. They was like, yo, are you coming in peace? What you coming over here to do, Samuel? They got scared of an old man because he was walking in the whole ancient past. That's why they were scared. You know? Go ahead.
Middle of verse 11. In the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, and in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers to give thee.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure,
The good treasure, he said, I'm going to open unto you, right? The what?
the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season.
Man, he said, I'm going to open up the heavens for you. I ain't gonna put, like, you know how he says he gonna make our heaven like iron?
Yes.
Nah, he said, I'm not gonna make the heaven like iron for you. I'm gonna open it for you. Go ahead.
And to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt not borrow. And the Lord shall make thee the head, and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them.
Right? And as you can see, we did not walk in the ancient past because we are in slavery to this day. Right? Because if we was walking in the ancient past, right, just like he told Jeremiah, if they just keep the Sabbath, I'll keep them in their land. Right? Because we started off with the Sabbath, right? That's what he told Jeremiah. If they would just keep my Sabbath, I will keep them in the land. But we couldn't keep that ancient path of just walking in the Sabbath. We had to work every day. Right? You see them in Nehemiah, they selling on the Sabbath, right? Nehemiah had to lay hands on people like, yo, you do that again, I'm gonna have to hurt you. Like, don't be coming over here trying to sell stuff on the Saturday. Right? Go ahead.
And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the
Mhm.
right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them.
Oh, you shouldn't be going off that path. To the right hand or to the left, because you can fall off the path very easily. You see that path, right? See how broad the way is over there? There's many ways. But there's only one road leading to salvation. One road. Right? Where's the next one for me, my brother?
This one is Matthew. I want to say Matthew 19 verses 28 and 29.
Matthew 19, verse 28.
28 through 30.
28 through 30. All right. And we know what path Jesus was walking in, right? Jesus was definitely walking in what? The ancient paths, right? So let's see how we should follow Jesus. Right? Give me Matthew 19, verse 28, please.
And Jesus said unto them,
Mm-hmm.
Verily I say unto you,
Yeah, truly I'm telling you what he tells them.
that ye which have followed me, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
There is a promise for walking in the ancient paths. Look at what he promised the 12 disciples here. He told them that they were going to be judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Now that's their position. We should be finding what our position is, right? Because there's many groups that make it into the kingdom. There are, Sister Abby said, blessed are they that do his commandments. You might fall under the blessed are they group. You walk up to the line, you say, all right, where am I? I'm under the blessed are they group that kept his commandments. I'm under that group, right? The disciples going to be, yeah, I'm one of the judges, the 12 tribes, you know? You want to make sure that you're under a certain group, right? That you have a position, a place in the kingdom, right? And we can see that the disciples had it because they walked in that ancient paths, right? Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 29, And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
Right, so the disciples have their job, but what about us, right? It says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sister, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or land. You forsook everything. And you say, nah, I'm going to walk in these ancient paths. Right? Because it's not easy. It's not easy for somebody that's drawn to their own lust. right? If you're still stuck on yourself, stuck on this world, this won't be easy for you. Right? Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 30. But many that are first shall be last,
Mhm.
and the last shall be first.
And the last shall be first, right? Go ahead, read it. What you got for me?
1 John 2 and 7.
1 John 2 and 7. Right? Because they make it seem like Jesus gave us a new path, right? So let's see what John had to say about that.
Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which ye had from the beginning.
Read that from 6 for me, right?
He that saith he abideth in him,
Mhm.
ought himself also so to walk, even as he walked.
You were supposed to be walking just as Jesus walked, right? That same path Jesus walked, that same ancient path. Jesus came, he didn't come keeping Christmas, saying, oh, I'm celebrating my birthday, right? He didn't come celebrating Easter. Guess what Jesus celebrated? Passover, tabernacles, the ancient paths.
Yeah.
Very simple, right? He celebrated the ancient paths, which was all pointing back towards him as salvation, right? But go ahead, my brother.
Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you,
Mhm.
but an old commandment which ye had from the beginning.
The old paths, right, which he had from the beginning. Right? The old way you're supposed to walk in from the beginning. What's that old commandment?
The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning.
The old commandment is the same word, right? Where he says, remember the Sabbath, right? Right? Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. All of these are the old paths, right? Where he says in Leviticus 23, gives us all his feast days. Those are all the old paths. Right? Go ahead, my brother.
Again,
That was it? That was it?
that was
You
it.
wanted- that was it? Good. All right. You have another one for us, or?
Yes,
All right, well, you did. What you got?
Genesis 17.
Genesis 17.
Let me find it first. Yeah, 10 through 14.
Genesis 17, and we're going to pick it up at verse 10, like my brother said, right?
This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised.
That's an old path, y'all. I remember when I had kids, I didn't want to walk in this old path. I was like, well, God made me this way, why I got to cut? I was like, he should have made me pre-cut. Right? But that wasn't the right way of thinking. You know? I had to go back and read this, and when I read this, I was like, oh, wow. Man, this is we didn't make this up. This is in the book. Because I thought people made that up. I never read it. And when I actually read it, I was like, oh, snap. Wow, God actually gave this to Abram. This is not something man came up with. Right? It says, this is my covenant which he shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be what? Circumcised. That's an old path. Go ahead, my brother.
And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations. He that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed.
Right? And man, you learn so much just by reading God's word. Because you would not notice that there's a specific reason why God is saying on the 8th day. If you even look at it medically, do you know when the body starts to produce vitamin K for a child? On that very day, they got a spike of vitamin K to produce, so the blood could start clotting. On this very day, it blew my mind. I didn't know that. You know, but once you start because God says His word is what we did it during the blood and His. What did he say? Like, as if there's many, his word is broad.
Yeah.
I might be quoting it wrong, but I can find it for you after this. Right? Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 13. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant.
Right? So we see all of this as part of the ancient past, right? And he says, if you don't do this, you have done what? You have broken the covenant. And God is a covenant God, right? So if you're not keeping the covenant, God have no part with you, right? But let's keep moving, though. What else y'all got for me? Oh, I got it. Psalms 119 and 96. And I'll hit yours. Psalms 119 and 96. Because I quoted it, and now I'm like, man, I messed up. I should have known exactly what it said. Psalms 119. And pick it up at verse 96.
If it's okay, I was waiting for everyone to get there.
Y'all there? Go ahead, my brother.
I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceeding broad.
That's the verse I was looking for, right? To show that, because we read about the circumcision, right? And how on the 8th day, and how you're supposed to do it on the 8th day. How broad is God's commandments? You see that on the 8th day, the blood produces vitamin K. So you don't have to give your baby a vitamin K shot as soon as they're born. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wait till God said to do it, right? So he says, I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandments are exceeded broad. You learn a lot from God's commandments. That law could be applied to biology, right? Science, everything. You apply it to everything, and you should be able to find the truth in it, right? But what you have for me, my brother Jaden?
John 18, verse 13 to 15.
John 18, verse 13 to 15. And again, the title is The Ancient Paths, right? And John what?
John 18, verse 13 to 15.
John 18, 13 to 15, you said? All right, pick it up from verse 11, right? No, 10.
John 18, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it, and smote the high priest servant, and cut off his right ear.
Mm-hmm.
The servant's name was Malchus. Then said Jesus unto Peter, Put up thy sword into his sheath. The cup which my Father hath given me, shall I not drink it?
Yeah, because that path has been written since the beginning, right? That Jesus was supposed to die, right? Jesus was slain from when?
The foundation of the world.
Right, so he's trying to destroy an ancient path right there by pulling out his sword, ready to go fight. That wasn't the path, right? Because he that fights by the sword is gonna do what?
Die.
Kill with the sword is gonna die by the sword, right? Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 12. Then the band and the captain and the officers of the Jews took Jesus and bound him, and led him away to Annas first, for he was the father-in-law to Caiaphas, which was the high priest that same year. Now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews, that it was not expedient that one man should die for the people.
Doesn't even realize that he's prophesying, right? That he's saying that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. He was prophesying that one man should bear the sins of everybody. Right? Go ahead.
And Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple.
Mm-hmm.
That disciple was known unto the high priest, and went in with Jesus into the palace of the high priest.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter stood at the door without. Then went out that other disciple, which was known unto the high priest, and spake unto her that kept the door, and brought in Peter. Then saith the damsel that kept the door unto Peter, Art not thou also one of this man's disciples? He saith, I am not. And the servants and the officers stood there, who had made a fire of coals, for it was cold. And they warmed themselves, and Peter stood with them, and warmed himself. The high priest then asked Jesus of his disciples, and of his doctrine. Jesus answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue, and in the temple, whither the Jews always resort, and in secret have I said nothing. Why askest thou me? Ask them which heard me, what I have said unto them. Behold, they know what I said.
How far you want to go down?
To 15.
To 15? So where here is the ancient past? Find me another one, Jay. Find another one about the ancient past. What you got for me?
Proverbs 3, 1 through 10.
Proverbs 3, 1 through 10. Proverbs chapter 3, and you said verses 1 through 10? Go ahead.
My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments.
Again, he's telling you about the ancient paths, right? Don't forget the law, the ancient paths where you're supposed to walk in. Right? For what?
For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee.
Right? Because that's what the commandments is going to give you, right? Jesus said, if you continue in my way, right? You're gonna in the regeneration, those that have followed me is gonna get what? Everlasting life.
And 100-fold.
And 100-fold, right? Go ahead, my brother.
Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table of thine heart.
Mm-hmm.
So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
And man, right? Both God and man, you're gonna have good understanding, right? And favor,
Yes.
right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 32.
Are we going to come back here?
Oh, we didn't finish that? Oh, we didn't? I thought we read up to what you wanted.
Ah, I said 10.
Oh, you said 10.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Proverbs 3. Go ahead, my brother. Where we left off? We stopped at 4, right?
Verse 5.
5? Go ahead.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding.
Mm-hmm.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
Oh, man, we should have stayed there, right? Because he's going to direct what?
Our paths.
Your paths, right? He's going to direct your paths what? To another path? Because that's what they'll make it seem like. Jesus came and gave us a different path to walk in. No, he's going to send you right back to the ancient paths, right? And he's going to direct thy paths, right? What he tells us, verse 7.
Be not wise in thine own eyes.
Because you could be wise in your own eyes. You could get so smart, you start saying, man, we don't have to keep God's laws. You know? Because those were too hard. So let's make up some new laws, and let's just start sinning. Because that's what you're doing. By break every commandment you break, you are sinning. Right? It says, that's why he says, be not wise in thine own eyes. What he tells us to do?
Fear the Lord.
Fear the Lord and do what?
Depart from evil.
How are you going to depart from evil if you do not depart from sin? Sin is what? The transgression of the Lord. So to depart from evil, I have to depart from transgression God's laws. Right? Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 8. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones.
Mm-hmm.
Honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy precious shall burst out with new wine.
Mm-hmm.
My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction.
Yeah, because you could get corrected. Sometimes you could go off the path, right? And God might have to give you one of these across your head, right? Like, get back on the path. You're moving too far off, right? You might get hit, boom, you got a broken leg. What were you doing? Why your leg broke? Right? Now you got a disease, you're in the hospital. So, because all these things that happen, you got to consider, right? Like Pharaoh, right? The Pharaoh that had started getting his house plagued. He started considering, what did I do? Why my house is getting plagued? You got a wife of a prophet. Let her go. You got to consider when things start going bad in your life. Like, what is going on? Did I do something? You know, not everybody has the story of Job. Maybe you did do something. You understand?
Yes.
Was that it for that?
Yes.
All right. What you got for me now, Jay? All right, I'm going to help my brother Jaden out. Deuteronomy 32. Put in walk in the way in your Bible app. And that should pull out a verse. Deuteronomy chapter 32, and pick it up at verse 7.
Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
What they going to tell you?
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
And you can see that, right? Even everything today, a lot of things are bound by the number of the children of Israel. The 24 elders, right? The Supreme Court, right? The 12 judges, right? 12 hours in a day. 24 hours in, I said 12 hours in a day. 24 hours in a day, right? It goes all with the balance by the number of the children of Israel, right? Go ahead.
For the Lord's portion is his people.
Mhm.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land, and in the waste howling wilderness he led him about. He instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye.
He instructed him, right? Because he had to have instructions to walk in the old paths. If he didn't give him no instructions, how would he know how to walk? Right? He instructed him right in the way. And what else?
Verse 11. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him.
See? The Lord alone was leading us when we came out of Egypt. It wasn't like the Lord was leading us and then Santa was right next to the Lord. Right?
So,
The Lord alone led us. There was no other God with him. Right? What you got for me now, Jay?
Proverbs
Proverbs
10,
chapter 10.
verse 8 to 9.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse 8 through 9. We're going to end it right there with this very beautiful proverb, right? Proverbs chapter 10, verse 8 through 9. Go ahead.
the wise in heart will receive commandments.
You will receive commandments, right? Because the commandments is going to help you walk in what? The old ancient paths, right? But what?
But a prating fool shall fall.
You're going to fall. You're going to fall off the path if you are pride and fool. But if you will receive these commandments, you're going to be right on that path, walking in that ancient path, just like all the ancients that came before us, right? Go ahead.
He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known.
Right? Notice what it just tell you? He that walketh uprightly walketh what? Surely. You don't have nothing to worry about. When you walking upright, are you scared? Do you know when the spirit of fear comes upon you? When you start breaking God's commandments. When you start to break God's commandments, you start to fear. You start fearing. You don't know, you're afraid of everything. You're afraid to go outside because you're like, yeah, I broke God's commandments. I don't know if God's going to kill me today. Right? You start to fear. Right? It says, he that walketh uprightly walketh surely, right? But what?
But he that perverteth his ways shall be known.
Yeah, you will be known. God is going to show you, expose you to the whole congregation, right? And that was the ancient paths.
Wait, I have one more.
Oh, you have one. What you got for us?
I have
Matthew 7 what?
Verse 13 and 14.
13 and 14. Oh, man. We're going to kill it with this one. Because that's a good one. She came out with the little dagger. Just right? Matthew 7, verse 13 through 14.
Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
And few there be that find it, right? Well, not much people going to find the ancient paths. Even with the open book right in front of them, right? This is an open book test. and people will be failing. How you fail an open book test? Right? It says, give me 15.
Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing.
That's how you fail an open book test. Through false prophets. Right? It says, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but what?
Inwardly they are ravening wolves.
That's what they are. And how are we going to know them?
Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?
Mm-hmm.
Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Evil fruit. That's how you're going to know between the ones that's leading you out the ancient paths or towards the ancient path. And that was a very beautiful scripture, sis.
Read Galatians 6 or not,
Galatians 6, you want to add that?
if we can.
Let's add it. We could. Galatians 6. We got a little time. I think Brother Hezekiah might be a little late. So Galatians 6, where you want to pick it up from?
Verse 22 through 26.
Verse 22.
Oh, no, wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Galatians 5,
Galatians 5. Okay.
22 through 26.
Galatians 5. Sorry about that. Verse 22 through 26.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love,
Mhm.
joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Yeah, there is no death penalty for keeping that, right? And you're going to know them by their fruits, right? We just read that back in Matthew, right? You're going to know these false prophets by their fruits. But if they're producing this kind of fruits, which is the fruits of the Spirit, there is no law against this, right? Go ahead, my brother.
And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts.
Mm-hmm.
If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another.
Right? So if we're living in the Spirit, like the book said, we got to do what? Walk according to the Spirit. And we know the Spirit is what? What's the Spirit?
The word.
The Word, right?
Yeah.
The Spirit is the Word. So if we're living in the Word, we're going to have to do what? Also walk in the Word. Right? And that was the ancient paths. Hope you had some understanding in Jesus' name. You were edified. All right, we're going to close up.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth,
thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
In Jesus' holy name,
In Jesus' holy name,
amen.
amen. Yes, taught a good lesson today.